Hi.
Hello. 10 years ago this September, I was among a group of fashion editors invited by Victoria Beckham to a hotel room in New York Fashion Week to see her very first fashion collection. And if we walked into that room a little bit skeptical, in the course of half an hour, she convinced us that she is, a force to be reckoned with. In the 10 years since then, she has transformed her place in the world, positioning herself as a key player in the fashion industry who has an instinct for how the 21st century woman wants to look. Her brand goes from strength to strength. This year, we'll see an exciting new collaboration with Reebok, taking the name to new audiences. And just this morning, she announced the appointment of Paulo Riva as her CEO to help grow the business. But one thing that hasn't changed in the last 10 years is that everybody is always curious to meet Victoria Beckham. The fashion industry is full of larger-than-life characters, but the person I get asked about more than any other is, what's Victoria Beckham like? So I'm thrilled that we have her here today so that you can find out for yourself.
Well, thank you. You make me sound way more interesting than I probably actually am. But thank you, Jess.
So let's rewind 10 years back to that hotel room. How much of a master plan did you have at that point?
I didn't have a master plan at all. You know, I always wanted to be in fashion. When I was younger, you know, it was always, fashion was my passion. And for a while there, I was in music and I was in a little band called the Spice Girls. I don't know if anybody's heard of it. Yeah? Come on, let's have some fun. I know we're serious. I know we're all very serious businesswomen, but we can have fun as well. But it was always my passion to be in fashion. And Simon Fuller, who is my business partner, and my husband, understood that was my passion, and they supported me and encouraged me to do what I really wanted to do, which was create a small collection of dresses. As a woman, I couldn't find what I wanted. I'd stood on so many red carpets, done lots of photo shoots, and I really couldn't find what I wanted as a woman, so decided to create a small line of dresses. And I took those dresses to New York and showed them to a mixture of press and fashion buyers. And I didn't know what anybody was going to think. I mean, I didn't know if anybody was going to like what I'd done. I was just being very, very honest. I was creating, as a woman, what I wanted to wear. And I was very passionate about the collection. And I had a couple of models walking up and down in a hotel suite in New York. And I would narrate through the presentation. And I'd unzip the dresses and I'd talk about the inspiration behind the dresses and the structure of the dresses and the corsetry and the seaming details and all of those kind of things. And it happened very naturally and very organically. And the product spoke for itself. I was very aware that people would have preconceptions because I was a Spice Girl, I was married to a footballer, and so I knew what people were thinking, but I really didn't focus on that. I was incredibly focused on what I wanted to do, and I'm very honest, and the product spoke for itself.
And fashion is about beautiful clothes, but it's also about having a point of view that people relate to and people are interested in. What do you think is your particular point of view that you've brought to fashion?
You know, I, again, started in music with inspiring women and young girls and boys. You know, I wanted to empower them through music, and now it's about empowering women through clothes and through fashion, whether that is clothes or makeup or whatever that might be. I want to make women feel like the best, most powerful version of themselves. I want them to feel confident. So I would say that is my point of view.
And we mentioned your collaboration with Reebok. One of the things that links your two brands is female leadership. Do you feel that that's important in the drive for equality as well?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm very proud that a lot of the leaders that I have working for my company are actually female. And there are many things that I love about Reebok. But I think that, again, Reebok have an enormous amount of strong females working with them as well.
And as you mentioned, before you were a fashion designer, you had a successful career before that. What do you think are the common threads that link through your careers in music and fashion?
I would say it's empowering people, whether it's through music or with fashion, and making them feel good. I will really do want to make women feel good and strong and powerful. I want them to enjoy wearing my clothes.
And what do you know now that you wish you had known when you started on a fashion career?
I liked the fact that I didn't know a lot, because knowing what I know now about the fashion industry, would I have had the guts to do what I did then? Probably not. I think that I was quite innocent and quite naive. There was a lot that I didn't know. And I think that was good, because I probably would have been terrified when people say, well, you're not nervous. The fashion industry, it's really scary. And, I was a pop star saying, hey, I've designed a dress.
But yeah, because you entered the industry as an outsider, but with the spotlight on you from your celebrity already. So that's quite a tricky combination. How did you navigate that pressure?
I didn't really feel any pressure. I was so passionate about what I was doing. I had the support from Simon, like I said, who is my business partner and who I've learned an enormous amount from over the years, and my husband, and they both said to me, as long as you're being honest and as long as you're enjoying what you're doing, that's the main thing.
Do you think that women in the public eye have a harder time of that than men do?
I think women definitely have a harder time in the public eye. I think that women, I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. And I think that the media can be very hard on women. When you get a middle-aged guy, oh, he looks great, he looks mature, he looks sexy, he looks great. You get a middle-aged woman, well, I mean, they can sometimes get their claws out, and they are definitely much tougher on women. And quite often it's women that are tough on women. And that, when people say, what makes me mad, that makes me mad. Women need to support each other as opposed to not.
Yeah. And what parts of your job do you still get nervous about?
I wouldn't say that I get nervous, but for sure when I'm about to do a presentation or a show, because it takes a lot. That's time when I'm not with my children, when I'm working on a collection, and you spend months and months working on a collection. Not just me, but my whole team does. And then you show everybody, and you want people to like what you've done. I'd be lying if I said I didn't care. I do, and so I do get nervous about that.
And you have a phenomenal work output. Would you say you achieve a work-life balance?
I'm trying really hard. I don't know. I think that, like most women, I beat myself up. I'm trying, most importantly, to be the best mum that I can, but I'm also trying to be the best wife and the best professional. And it is a juggling act, and it's not easy. I'm sure that looking around the room, there's plenty of women that are in the same position as me. And I'm trying. It's hard, and I have to remind myself, when I come home, put the phone down. It's okay to not answer emails until the morning. Spend quality time with the children and with David. And it really is about getting that balance and just constantly checking in with yourself and having a word with yourself, if you like.
Because, that's the scenario that you're in. As you say, will be familiar to a lot of women in this room, I think, of having a marriage with two high-profile careers, but it's something that wasn't at all common a generation ago. So it's really quite a new world that you're trying to navigate. What's your kind of top tip for making it work?
I'm so lucky that I have the support of an incredible husband. He has always encouraged me to follow my dreams and passion. And if it wasn't for him supporting me at home as well, then it would be very difficult. We really are equal, with everything that we do at home with the children. And so he makes it possible. When I'm away, he's at home doing the school run, and he's at home cooking the dinner, and he's the one at home doing the homework with the kids. He's the most fantastic husband, and dad. and then I'm at home, and I do that as well. So it's about being partners, and we're a good partnership.
And do you feel having that for your kids, you can be a role model in terms of your work ethic as well as being a good and present mum?
Yeah, I mean, the boys and Harper all know that Mummy and Daddy work really, really hard. We weren't just given any of this. We have worked very hard, and maintaining success, getting success is one thing, but maintaining it is a whole nother thing. And they see that we go to work every day and we work really hard, and they have to work hard at school and with their passions, whatever it might be.
And are you good at putting your phone away and switching it off and making some
I'm
time?
really not. I've been known to sort of like hide in the bathroom at the weekend to just send a little email. But I'm trying. It's something that I'm constantly trying to do, get that work-life balance. And for me, it's going to be great. You know, as you said earlier, that Paolo, who I can see here today, who we've just announced as my CEO, I think Paolo coming on is going to really help, because I've been trying to spin a lot of plates, and I've built this brand, yes, with the support of Simon and David, but I have been so hands-on, and it never stops. I haven't had a partner in crime, if you like. That's what I like to call the person that's going to be working closely with me, so that I can focus on what I need to do as a creative director, but also, yes, have more time where I can focus on my children and my husband, because, you know, I have someone else that's going to help grow this business with me, and I'm ready for the first time to really allow somebody to do that. You know, I want to take this brand to the next level, and I want to bring in the right people to enable me to do that.
And what change does this signal for the brand? What's your kind of plan that you'll be able to implement now you have your CEO?
There's so much that I want to do. You know, I really do believe in dreaming big, and there is so much that I want to do to grow this business, to really take it to the next level. You know, there's a lot that I want to do with regards to the digital side of my business. That is something that I'm very passionate about. And I mean, there's just so much. I don't know where Paolo's going to start. I've got to be honest, because I'm not short of ideas, and I just need the right infrastructure around me for me to really turn that into a reality. Because I've done this with a great team of people, but as a team, we have been crying out for a leader and someone of Paolo's caliber that has done this before, that can guide us all, and that I can learn from. That's what I'm really excited about as well.
And Reebok is a big move for the brand this year. What did you find as a sort of synergy between your brand and Reebok?
I mean, when I think about Reebok, I think of the 90s, you know, I think about the Vector. And I've always loved Reebok. So when they approached me, I jumped at the opportunity to work with them. I think that they can do what I couldn't do on my own, because obviously they have the technical know-how, which is key. And when I'm going into a new category, it's very important that it's honest and it's authentic. And I work out every day, you know. I'm a bit of a sporty spice underneath all of this. And so I wanted to create clothes that I want to wear in the gym. I think that there is a gap for clothing that is technical workout clothing that also looks good. You know, people wear workout clothing when they're not in the gym. And it's hard to find something that looks good that also does what you need it to do. I love the English heritage behind Reebok, and they're a great company, like I said, being run 50-50 between strong men and strong women.
And it does take your brand quite a distance aesthetically from those kind of structured dresses and the heels that you're known for. What links those two elements of your brand, the glamour and now doing sportswear?
Well, I mean, I have been known to wear a trainer of late. It was big news the first time I stepped out in a pair of trainers. Very strange. But I think more and more I do wear trainers. I mean, I love a good trainer, not just to work out in, but for fashion as well. And I love to mix sportswear with ready to wear. So I'll wear a trainer and maybe a really cool, loose fitted tracksuit pant and an oversized, men's inspired gabardine coat, for example. So it's about mixing sportswear with ready to wear.
And what's your workout schedule? How many days a week are you working out now?
When I'm at home, I like to do every day. And so it normally starts with I walk my daughter to school, and then I do a bit of work on the treadmill, and then I like to dance. That's what I like to do. Put on my playlist and dance.
And do you think the collaboration will change how customers see you and your brand?
I'm hoping that I can reach a whole new customer as well. I think that the price point will be more accessible. And I think that it will speak to a lot more people all around the world. Everybody knows Reebok. So I will be able to reach out to customers in certain parts of the world that I haven't been able to previously. Because my brand is significantly bigger than my business, and my business is still quite small. So Reebok will really enable me to reach out to a whole new customer.
And we touched earlier on empowering women. In 2018, the Me Too movement has brought a lot of attention to the drive for female empowerment and equality. And you have been singing about girl power since the Spice Girls. Has girl power been a theme that links your career and something you feel you're still singing about?
I am still banging on that drum, and I'm not going to stop. And I don't think any of us wants this to stop. It's a very important time for women right now, and 100%. It's the same message, but it's through fashion and beauty and luxury now, as opposed to music. Turns out that's just because no one wants to hear me sing anymore. But I think it's a strong, powerful message, and I love women, and if I can inspire anybody to follow their dreams, then that's what I love to do.
And when you speak to young women and to your children's generation, do you feel like progress is being made?
Absolutely, I really do, and I'm really proud of that. I'm proud of that for Harper. Every day when Harper goes to school, she walks up the school up the school stairs, and I give her a kiss and I say, Harper, you're a girl, and you can achieve anything. You can do anything that you want to do, and that's my message to her constantly. She knows she can do everything, and probably more than her brothers do. She's a strong woman, and we read books about that, and we talk about it a lot. If you used to ask Harper what she wants to do when she leaves school, she wants to be an inventor, and she's very proud of that. She's a strong, smart woman. Little woman.
And you've had awards and an OBE. How do you measure success? What makes you feel successful?
Oh, that's a good one. I think that, I look at my children and I feel successful. I try to be a good mum. I don't know. I probably don't sit back and sort of think that enough. I think that I'm constantly thinking, what's next? I'm tough on myself. We're all tough on ourselves.
Are you better at giving advice or taking advice?
Look, if anybody wants to advise, I'm always happy to help. But I don't know. I don't know. But I do love to be given advice. I like to surround myself with really smart people that I can learn from. I never pretend to know anything, everything myself. I want to learn every day. I want to learn, and I want to be challenged. So I'm probably better at being given advice because I'm like a sponge. That's what I want. I've got a lot that I want to do. Yeah.
And what's next? What will the next 10 years hold? Can you give us any clues of where you're going after Reebok? And
beauty is something that I feel very passionately about. I worked with Estee Lauder a few years ago, and I really enjoyed developing colour with Estee Lauder. So what I'm doing now is on my own, I'm going to be developing skincare, which is something that I'm really interested in. And I want to create really, really great skincare that's quite scientific. That's something that really interests me. I'd love to work on a fragrance at some point, more makeup, menswear at some point, goodness, children's clothes. There's so much that I want to do, but everything that I do will be very honest to me and what I want in my life, and something that I feel that I have some, I don't want to copy what anybody else is doing. I want it to be true to me and organic.
And we're running out of time, but just lastly, you've achieved so much, but what mistakes have you made? Has there been anything where that you wish you hadn't done, but that you've learnt from in the process of your career?
The older that I get, the more I learn to really trust my instinct. And that's something that Simon Fuller always said to me. He said, you have a great instinct, trust your instinct. And it is important to be surrounded by the right people. But ultimately, the older that you get as a woman, you learn to trust that instinct. And any time I have made a mistake or could have done something better, it's because I haven't followed my intuition.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I hope that was interesting.